Hello everyone, welcome back to Newsroom. I'm Chelsea Smith. This is your Middle East U.S. entertainment news here on YouTube. I air on Fridays. I bring you the latest on reforms and economics Iraq based on reports put out by the Middle East news media outlets. I do this weekly review and it's based off my interest. Thank you everyone for joining me. Last week, we talked about the 2023 budget, the Ministry of Finance, the U.S. delegations, and the exchange rate. Let's take a look at this week's headlines. Shafaq News reports the Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani receives a phone call from the Secretary General of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, Jens Stoltenberg. A statement issued by al-Sudani's office stated that during the call, they discussed strengthening security and military cooperation between NATO countries and Iraq in a way that contributes to supporting Iraqis' efforts in the field of combating terrorism and ending the remnants. The two sides also exchanged views on the strengthening the NATO mission in Iraq within the framework of providing advice and training support to the Iraqi security forces and their level of readiness and performance, according to the statement. Shafaq News reports the Iraqi Council of Ministers decide to contract with the international auditing companies against the background of the theft of the century related to the tax insurance funds. A statement by the media office of the Iraqi Council of Ministers was received by Shafaq News Agency in the field of government efforts aimed at financial auditing of tax and custom deposits after uncovering the crime of the theft of tax security sums that occurred more than a month ago. The Council of Ministries agreed to authorize the Office of the Prime Minister the power to contract with one of the major international companies in the financial auditing. The statement added that the approval came for the purpose of auditing tax and custom guarantees, with the exception of Article 3 and the instructions for implementing government contracts, and the Ministry of Planning undertakes to include the projects as a component of one of the projects within the investment budget for the year 2022. And the regulatory authorities have previously revealed the embezzlement of tax trust funds in the amount of 3.7 trillion Iraqi dinars, which has become known as the theft of the century. And the Iraqi judiciary issued arrest warrants against the number of the accused of the theft of the century and confiscated movable and immovable funds and the seizure of real estate belonging to them and their families. A new report, the Kurdistan regions of Iraq's gas export potential, deja vu all over again, authorized by the Atlantic Council senior followed Ahmad Tabachi, considers the Kurdistan region of Iraq's KRI proven and portable gas reserves having the potential to nearly triple productions by 2030. Its current gas productions of 5.4 billion cubic meters BCM could increase to 15.4 BCMA by 2030. This increase would be enough to meet current and future domestic KRI demands and to generate exports of 5.4 BCMA by 2030 and peak exports of 15.5 BCMA by 2040. The journal JNA reports U.S. Federal Reserve's decision to stop money transfers with Iraqi banks came as a result of accusing these banks of smuggling money from the currency auctions illegally. An informed source said in an interview with the journal that the U.S. federal banks issued its decision to stop money transfers to 14 Iraqi banks on charges of smuggling money from the currency auctions of the central bank to countries under the U.S. sanctions without revealing the names of these sources, these banks. He added that the Federal Reserve has opened an investigation into the records of these banks, and this will result in greater and broader penalties, including the inclusion of these banks on the blacklist, and work with them will end. The blacklisting penalties stipulated from all financial transactions between the U.S. financial systems and the listed banks will be suspended and punished. These sanctions came less than a month after Mohammed Shia al-Sudani assumes the presidency of the new government and pledged to work to put the Iraqi economy on the right track. The Iraqi market witnessed speculations in the dollar exchange rate as a recorded 148,500 Iraqi dinars for 100 US dollars, knowing that the official pricing from the Iraqi bank is 1450 dinars per 1 US dollar. The dollar exchange rate rose to record levels and a difference of 3,500 dinars from the official real price from the central bank, and the benefit speculators from the owners of banking companies who started today by buying only dollars and not selling. The Iraqi economy suffers from large economic inflation due to political problems, instability of the financial markets, high rates of corruption, and money smuggling, which created a kind of mistrust among the Iraqi citizens. Al-News Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs Farood Hussein chaired the first meeting of Minister Council for Economy, during which was emphasized the budget law would be discussed during the next session. The meeting took place in the presence of the Minister of Planning, Trade, Agriculture, Labor, Social Affairs, the Secretary General of the Council of Ministers, the Governor of the Central Bank of Iraq, the Chairman of the National Investment Commissions as an agency, and the Prime Minister's advisor to economic affairs. The statement added that Hussein welcomed the members of Council, wishing them success in their work, stressing the need for the Council to take the role in formulating economic policy that would contribute to the development of the economy and the development and provide the best services to the citizens. Hussein affirmed that the Minister Council of Economy will devote a large part of the next session to discussing the budget proposal in order to complete it before submitting it to the House of Representatives, discussing the items that included in the agenda, and taking the appropriate decisions. The Independent reports economic circles have blessed the opening of branches of international development banks in Dubai. Consider it is a positive step up the path to developing the financial sector in Iraq. A member of the Baghdad Economic Forum, Jesam Al-Aradi, describes the opening of the development bank branches as an important step, being closely involved with international banks. Given that Dubai hosts the best banks in the region and in the world, pointing out that this friction adds some new to the performance of Iraqi banking sector through the best representatives of the Development Bank International. At that time, the governor of the Central Bank of Iraq, Mustafa Ghalib, praised the efforts of the international developing banks and blessed the opening of the bank's branch in Dubai. Ghalib pointed out that it is an important step as the private Iraqi banks occupy an important position within the UAE and the Iraqi banking sector after obtaining the confidence of the Central Bank of the United Arab Emirates. A ceremony was organized on the occasion, attended by the governor of the Central Bank of Iraq, the undersecretary of the UAE Ministry of Economy, the Dubai Chamber of Commerce, the Union of Arab Banks, the Association of the Iraqi Private Banks, the ambassador of the countries accredited to the state, the Iraqi embassy, and a large number of Iraqi and foreign businessmen and investors at all levels. The Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Planning, Dr. Mohammed Ali Timan, the Ambassador of the United States of America to Iraq, Ms. Elena Romanowski, and her accompanying delegations. During the meeting, they discussed aspects of joint cooperation between the two friendly countries in various fields, foremost among which is the development of economic trade and investment relations. The two sides affirmed that there are important commonalities in bilateral relations that can be invested in achieving comprehensive stability in Iraq by promoting economic developments and continuing joint coordination between the two sides. For her part, Ms. Romanowski wished the Iraqi government success in achieving its ministerial curriculum, expressing her country's readiness to continue its support for Iraq in various fields. And you've been watching Newsroom Weekly Review. I'm Chella Smith, your Middle East U.S. entertainment news on reforms in economics Iraq. I bring you all the latest Dinar news without having to keep up with all the different outlets. I'm here on YouTube every Friday, so don't forget to subscribe and make sure you turn those notification bells on. If you like my content, please give me a thumbs up. Newsroom Chella Smith here on YouTube has officially produced its 100th airing for this channel. I'd like to thank the 4,200 170 subscribers that have given me their loyalty each week to deliver the Iraqi Weekly Report. You guys have been my inspiration for me to keep showing up each week through the positive feedbacks, through your comments, likes, and shares. Together, we have put in over 114,000 plus views and countless watch time hours, and have maintained between 45 and 60 countries per every 30 days viewing. The station each week has grown significantly. The station has been a learning process for me, and throughout each show, I have found my ceiling. Let's continue to finish this mission out. The 100th airing we shared during the week of Thanksgiving. Have a happy Thanksgiving to you and to your families. Such a beautiful time of year to be thankful. I'll see you guys next week. Take care.